Hi there, Fire here, and this video is going to be two things. It's going to be tips and strategies for playing through hard mode, and then also it's going to be chronicling my run. I'm trying to get a 100 win streak going on hard mode. My last one ended at 41. Yeah, much crying after that, I assure you. And right now I'm back up to 31, but so I'm going to be doing videos on going back up to 100 and hopefully making it to 100. So first off, I'm going to start with my general strategy for both roguelikes and roguelites, which I consider this a light, not which L-I-T-E, but both the turn-based ones and then these ones that are action-based kind of work on the same premise in that they're very random. And what you want to do is you want to be able to bring that randomness to as low a level as it can. You want to be able to bring some consistency to the game, because so many of these games will throw things that seem unfair, and sometimes they are, but a lot of times there's ways to work around them. So that's kind of, I'm going to give you tips on how to work around things, and then just general strategies. But first I'm going to start with my class schedule, which is the first way I bring consistency to the game. So first I'm going to take away all of them. So if you're trying to beat hard mode for the first time, you should have 9 periods. If you don't have 9 periods yet, play on normal until you unlock all of the class periods, because you can unlock up to 9 by playing through normal. The last period you get is by beating hard mode. So yeah, so you won't have 10 until you beat hard. But the first, I'm going to start from the top, and the first one I'm going to start with is a really important one in my opinion, which is being able to shoot while rolling mud. And it's one of the more important ones in my opinion, just because you're going to be moving a ton, and rolling makes you move faster. Sometimes you don't want to be rolling, but later on you're going to want to be rolling a lot. And so it's a super important class in my opinion. The next one I'm going to go to is kind of optional in my opinion. There's 2 optional ones, which is criticism and then vistas. Now I like both of them, starting with criticism because it increases your damage output. You only start with 5% crit, so at the beginning it barely increases it, but about 2/3 of the game you're going to get more than 15% crit. Ideally you want to get over 30%. That's when it really starts making a difference, but most games it will make a difference, and so I like it. And then vistas makes it so you have more floors, more rooms per floor, and it gives you more consumables, more money, more experience. So it makes the end game easier by giving you more floors throughout the game. And you pretty much, even the last of the few floors, you want to generally go through all the rooms, because usually the boss fights are more of the problem than the enemies you run into. Sometimes the last couple of floors I would advise against not doing them, but most of the time you want to do all the floors in the game. So this is a really important class, but not quite required. What is required, by far, most important class in the game, it only costs 1 period. If it costs 3, I would probably still use it. It's amazing. Doubling your invincibility time with the class Regret it makes it so you can do damage. After you take damage, you can usually do some damage to enemies if you have the rolling items or certain on-use items. It makes it so you can just do more damage. You don't take nearly as much damage. Overall, it's great. It's great. And another class that makes you take less damage, and then also I like it because of the nimble medallion item, which gives you a token every time you dodge. This makes it that much more valuable if you're using this class. Plus you can only have 42% dodge without this class. With this class you get 67%. So it's makes you dodge way more. Even with when you get the worst dodge item, which is 6%, it makes it like 6% without ducking is worthless 6% of the time, but 31%, you're almost up to a third of the time already with just one item. And since you're going to be rolling most of the time, and the way the timing works on the rolling, you can pretty much be having that extra dodge the entire time. So I like it a lot. The last class besides hard mode, which we have to have, 3, I'll get to that in a second, yeah. So crowns I like because there are certain items you cannot buy. You can only find them. And this gives you, on average, about 6 more items per game. So it's very valuable because some of the items you find are incredible. Now, you can buy some of the really good items too, but it's super valuable in my opinion. It's the only class we're going to take that's more than one period, because most of the more expensive classes just are not worth it. Some of them are, but most of them aren't. And most of the builds that go around the more expensive classes, they require certain items to really work well. And so I don't like any of the more expensive classes for hard mode. So crowns, and then yeah, you have to spend 3 periods on hard mode. So that ratchets up the difficulty quite a bit just by that alone. But also considering hard mode is way more difficult even without this, is, you know, it just kind of makes it feel like a super hard right off the bat because of the increase in difficulty, and then you having 3 less periods to spend on other things. So that is all 10 of our periods. Now we shall start the run. Here we go. I always go left, it's a rule. And then I go clockwise. It's turning left every room. Patience is something that helps a lot. So a general thing I do for the first 2 floors, this is something turning the odds in my favor. It's a small thing, but I don't pick up any of the money. There's actually 2 reasons. One's the Thorn Clover, which gives you 2 tokens for every one you pick up. And then the other is you can get healed through a certain level by getting money. So the first couple of floors, I just leave it. And then after that, I'll start picking it up. Or I'll pick it up, but I wait till the very end of the floor. So this is a champion, that's why it's red. Very easy champion. Just 3 times, once he gets to a certain amount of damage, he just chases you faster than he was chasing you before. Not a big deal. Terrace Petting Fist, it's an okay item. It adds a little bit more damage, and they go through things, which is nice. And then if you have like slowing down abilities or stuff like that, it adds to that. So, or it will proc that slowing down. So attack speed, in my opinion, is okay, but I like to try to get definitely over 200 life. Not going to get that every game, depending, but so I'm going to pick life for my first level. If that was damage and life, I would take damage. Getting the timing down when you gotta press space bar or whatever you're using for rolling is very important. Yeah, I play with the keyboard. Pretty sure you can set up this game for a controller. I'm not even 100% sure. I like to play with the keyboard these style of games. But getting the timing down on the rolling is very important. So these trash can brogs on hard, they shoot faster than they do on normal. And then these bubble blowers, their bubbles track you more. On normal, they don't follow you as far. They kind of just sit around. So I don't take out all the guys, I just take out the chasing guys generally, and I'll probably take out one of the trash can brogs. But I'm going to leave the other two guys, not that big a deal. So once it gets to about half, he'll shoot out more guys here in a second. Oh, and of course, on hard mode you get the gifted guys, which is great. Annoying part about my strategy, I gotta go backtrack, but that's also why I always turn direction the same way. I always turn left from the way I'm facing. Pretty sure there's not any money, but I'm gonna double check anyways in that room. Also, always make sure you're not using juice boxes until you're either finished with the floor like I am, or you're past the amount of life you need to recover, which right now I only get 20 because I have none of the recovery items yet. So we got 6 tokens, which is about average first floor. I'm not going to buy it. The only thing I could buy is this, which would increase my juice boxes, but I'm not going to buy that. I'm going to save it. All right, what do we got? Definitely a well-stocked. I actually don't mind sensitive floors that much because they make you kill stuff twice as fast too, which generally... And they're both kitchen floors, so they could both have the same bosses. So pick the well-stocked floor. Maybe I'll get lucky and get a good amount of money and then see a good item. So these guys, their hitboxes, if you stand here, you can still hit them, and they'll shoot. If you just back up, they won't hit you. So you can kind of keep on moving forward and then backwards. Here I can really show a good example of it. So I'll let him fire and then see I can keep on moving back. So gonna wait one more floor. Ah, good money. So these guys are the worst champion types. I hate them. And also these guys are much worse on hard because they shoot or they drop blobs, which really sucks. Blobs all die in one hit, but this lightning's annoying to dodge because it oscillates moving back and forth. Yeah, I don't put very much stock into move speed. Like, move speed is somewhat important, but it's not that important. You can get through the game without that much extra move speed. So, generally, this isn't that great a level. It's useful, so I'm going to take this, get that 15 more life, which will help out a good amount. And I got one of the dodge items. Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, so sometimes there's not treasure rooms on floors, and I only got one champion, so last floor was kind of an unlucky floor to start with. But so 6% dodge, that's nice. Even though it's the worst of the items. Any of them at this point are good to me. Patience is a virtue. Good, so I got 2 champions this floor. They just throw out a bigger stack of caltrops. So when I have the bubbles, I generally try to keep firing because they'll hit them. Of course, it makes my accuracy a little less worse, but since they go through stuff, it's nice to keep them in the air. So I'm going to wait to get this item until I finish the floor. That gives me 100% resistance. It will break after I take 100 damage, but because these floors are easy, I'm gonna wait so I don't take any damage with it, so I can save it. So I'll have it hopefully all the way through the floors to up to Reagan. Hopefully we get a treasure room this floor. It's frustrating when you don't get treasure rooms on the early floors. Because yes, you're not 100% guaranteed to get treasure floors. It seems to be more common that you don't, though, on the later floors, I feel. Not 100% certain, but it feels that way. I have a feeling this is a shop. Nope. Oh, good. Got a lot of money. Oh, yeah, there's 2 shops. That's the boss. Always wait to fight the boss till you're done with the floor. There is a few reasons for that. One, right here. So I'm probably going to buy this, I think. This is one of the reasons you want to wait to fight bosses until you clear the floor, because bosses give a lot of experience. This gives you 50% more experience, so I get 50% more experience from the boss. Another reason is there's an item called Trick or Sweet Loot, where you get money from boss drops, so it's also nice to wait for that reason. And then also so you can be the highest experience level possible, because generally the bosses are going to be your hardest battles in the game. I go to treasure room. So 2 champions and a treasure room. This one's easy. You just move fast right away, and you can get to it. I'm not very big on the slowing items, except the one that does damage over the time, which is one of the best items in the game. Alright, I'm going to gather all the money now instead of after the boss. Oh, looks like just exactly 12. Oh no, there was one more in here. Okay. There's some other items I wouldn't mind, but I like, if you can get the experience items early on, they're nice to get. Double check. Yeah, I don't think so. This is also a really big item. Man. Like, I like all 3 of these items. This is really nice too. The other shop had a nice item, but we're going to go with this. I think this is the consistent way to go. But the other big way, the used knapsack would be a really good way to go too, though. Having 3 more juice boxes so I can carry up to 9 is really nice. So always start down here when he does his blast, because he shoots you against the wall. And I'm going to stand close to make sure all my bubbles hit. Because I know when he's going to shoot the next blast. Right about. So there's only a few choices on these mazes. I just know them on sight. I got to start left and then go this way. I think there's maybe 4 total of these ice mazes. They're not so... After you fight him a few times, it's pretty easy to know. Now he's going to shoot out the ice. The more damage you do after he shoots out a fog, the quicker he shoots out the ice crystals. Oh, can I make it? Nope, I got stuck. So now he's going to shoot him out even faster. That's not very good. Same maze twice in a row. Getting slow. So you start moving on hard mode, he lowers your speed. Which is why I was starting to have a really hard time dodging. But we're fine. We got the item to decrease our damage. And right now my damage output's terrible, so that's also like when he gets, it takes that many rounds for me to kill him. Alright, 2 big floors are one of the best floors to take, because again it's like the Vistas class stacks out on top of it, and so now it's going to be a nice big floor. So Gluttonous is pretty nice, but this airline, I don't need that anyways. And plus with 2 big floor, I have a chance of finding more juice boxes. And also a thing I don't like about Gluttonous floors, guys will only drop juice boxes. So you won't get any money drops, and so I don't like that for this early on. You don't need it. Ah, good. See, another good thing about 2 big floors, pretty sure it gives you a higher chance of getting one of those guys. So this is one of the times when I break my rule. Okay, this is a pretty good level. The 10 damage doubles your, and your chalk does double damage. It's not always helpful every run, but you get 10 damage too. And plus, I don't want to lose 15% base move speed. I actually will take this level sometimes, but I need damage. And plus, this is a pretty good level. It's not one of the best levels, but it's a pretty good level. And if I get a certain chalk item, it's, you know, the last bosses are going to be cake. So we're going to take this level. Now I got a little bit more damage. And we're going to pick up the money now. Just keep on moving with these girls. They're, especially by themselves, not a big deal. The green clouds confuse you, which just makes you fire in the opposite direction. So it's not really that big of a deal. Again, with like with a lot of the other enemies, just be patient. Good, good, good. 2 champions. You gotta be careful with your bubbles. They will hit these things, which does damage to the enemies, but also does damage to you. So, and these hit harder than any of the other guys, any of the enemies at this point. They hit pretty hard. Ooh, very good item. Oh, good, another item. These guys, it's a good idea to kind of try to hug the bottom and top wall, run around them. Makes it easier to dodge because they'll hit, the papers will hit the walls, and then these guys hit pretty hard too. Oh, best recovery item in the game. Get this by killing, I believe, 21 guys on the last boss, which is very easy achievement to do, so make sure you have this item unlocked. Best recovery item in the game. Now I can, these early floors, I can take all the damage I want. If I get the nimble medallion, which to give me money for dodging. Yeah, so recovery now. Now we gotta get to our damage output. And I already got one of the other best recovery items in the game, which is this. If I get this coupled with a couple other items, it's like, yeah, recovery will not be an issue mid-level, or because natural defense is pretty much only good at the beginning of the level because it blocks enemy shots. Now the early enemies don't shoot shots, so, but all the bosses except for 2 shoot bullets at you, fire, whatever. See, I got 2 juice boxes already, and like, don't even matter now. So, definitely worth it to take this floor over the gluttonous floor. So I wait to pick up juice boxes, again, for a couple of reasons. One is I can get better recovery from, I might get the recovery items, the juice box recovery items, so the ones that make me get more life per juice box. Also, I might get levels that make me get stats up. There's 2 that give you damage for using a juice box. They increase how much damage you do. And then there's 1 that increases your maximum life per juice box used. And I will level again, because the boss will give me over 1800, and then I'm only about halfway done with this floor because it's too big. Already up to 9 tokens. It's a pretty good floor so far. Actually, a really good floor now that I think about it. There's a treasure room. It's very good early floor. Quick tip, just exit and enter a room will make everything disappear. Instead of trying to dodge around and taking damage while you're trying to dodge it. So if you didn't notice this already, boss doors are red. So yeah, gonna wait till we clear everything. I don't like this room. Their globes count as a projectile, so that's why I healed some life right there. So you heal it for a percentage of your missing life with the natural defense. Oh! We need damage, even though the life. So these are both really good levels. This is the juice boxes of darkness is the worst of the 2 damage per juice box used, but we need damage. And we got some life up already, even though I like this level a lot too. We need the damage, so we're going to take this level. At least juice boxes show up on your map, so you don't have to look for them. I don't think I can level from the boss. There's a level that decreases the amount of money you have to spend by 42%. Why 42%? I don't know, but close to half. And actually, some bosses I could run in a boss that gives you more experience, but than the normal 1800 plus you get from certain bosses. I don't think he gives me that much, so. I'm not going to worry about the life I'm missing because I got this recovery. Oh, I forgot about that. I actually would have used the juice boxes sooner so I wouldn't have to take any damage. Because I decreased... That was the first time I was there. I didn't even realize that with Bear. But hopefully we can avoid taking any damage on the boss. Depends on which one it is. Actually, the one I'm hoping it is, I probably will take damage. But it's not. So if you get the guy's ice barriers up above him, see how he's taking damage without me shooting? They do damage to him. And they normally those ice balls don't explode until he's going to move, but when they hit the papers, they explode too. Oh, that was unlucky. So I always exit and go back into the boss room, even though I knew I wasn't going to level. Because you'll get a level, you won't get the level until you leave the room. And it's actually beneficial to make sure you level up before, because sometimes you might have items that occur after you go to the next floor, like a recovery item, or then there's the cookies of discipline, which give you a level. And so you'll get more experience if you level up, because then you're going to level up again with the cookies of discipline. So it's a couple of reasons. So always exit and go back in the boss room after you kill the boss. It's just a good habit to form. Now we're on Goneril's floor. That's how you say her name. Maybe it's French. Goneril. So these guys that come out of these closets, they don't do damage. All they do is they snare you, so I can't move for about 2 seconds. Not that... They can be annoying, but it's not a huge deal. Doesn't do damage. It can just lead to you taking damage. And those are the one guys, they don't, for some reason, not that it matters because they don't do damage, but if you exit and enter a room, they'll still be wherever they were. They don't disappear when you exit and enter a room. See, watch. See? I got snared by him. Like I said, pretty much everything else disappears when you exit a room and go back in it. I'm actually using the juice box now, even though it's inefficient, because I have natural defense and I know I'm going to just recover my life. But I'm going to wait to pick that up for another reason. Here's a tip. You can stand right against these and they will not hit you. I don't know why, but yeah, it doesn't. So that's pretty useful for hard, because there are certain bosses that's nice to avoid once you get past Goneril here. You'll start running into some tough bosses. And so with this, you can use it to help you avoid. Oh, these are nice rooms. So this is basically an extra treasure room that you'll sometimes get. You kill these big cats, and the dog will drop an item for you. It's okay. The range items don't have enough power. Like, range is really useful. And most of the range items do not help very much. Nice, I already got 3 juice boxes. This is one of the few items in the game. Actually, there's 2 of them. This is the one, though, I definitely never want to pick up. The other one's not too bad, but I do not like the shot angle altering. It's not worth the 25% attack speed. Maybe if it gave damage too, then I would say it would be worth it. But because you end up missing on smaller bosses and stuff like that a lot, or smaller enemies. I don't necessarily... So normally I would take the damage. I'm not the biggest fan of the drop items just because it's also kind of random. And sometimes I swear I feel like they don't work, but that's probably just randomness, you know. But I do have the juice box increase my damage, so I will get a sufficient amount of damage through the game without any extra. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. Plus, I'll take, even though it's only 15 life, I'll take it. Alright, so with gonorrhea here, there's a pattern. So follow the, I start top right here. I always use chalk unless my damage is really good, because you got to blow that up right away. And I start down here next. For most people, I'd recommend using a chalk in between those 2 houses. I'm going to save them, though. I can't dodge it. My damage output's still pretty bad. Plus, I didn't use the chalk, which would have let me kill the, or destroy the smaller houses quicker, but my damage output still isn't great. So that's why it's taking so long. Now she comes out, and you get to the O. That was dumb on my part. If you can help it, early on you don't ever want to get hit by her. Get hit by either the balls or the whatever the white thing, the flying white things are. So you either get hit by the spike balls or the little white balls. So she pulls you in when she does that jump, and sometimes she'll do it 5 times. I've had it in a row, 5 times in a row. It's really annoying. And again, that lightning oscillates back and forth, so you gotta kind of watch it and want to dodge through it as you see it's changing direction. For some reason, she does less damage the more you hurt her, so the bigger she gets, the less damage she does. This would be a pretty nice thing to have with the level I got. Oh yeah, I think on shops, so you can see items multiple times in shops. So I've seen items 3 floors in a row, and then it drops the next floor. But if an item drops from a chest or an enemy, then it's out of the item pool, even if you don't pick it up. So you can see them in the shop, they'll stay in the item pool, but once it's dropped from an enemy, it's out of the item pool. So if you have a choice, now this is going to be a much easier boss. If you see it's the kitchen floor, so a culinary holes, you know it's going to be a much easier boss. Now I can see the bosses because I have the floor plans, but even if you can't, you know for 2 reasons. It's a kitchen floor, and also the tougher bosses will never have less than an 18 credit reward. So I know right off the bat these would be harder bosses, even if I didn't look to see that it's a kitchen floor. But there's an easy way to beat this boss. He has a dead spot, and it's an underlit floor, which I like. I'll get more experience because it's an underlit floor. This boss is really annoying. It's too big floor, but it's also a wound morts floor, which you find much less money than you do on the Capulet floors. So yeah, pick these floors whenever you can. You'll get way more. Generally there's more juice boxes too, so it kind of makes up for it. So this is the way I'm going to go. You can't hurt these girls when they do they turn their mirrors around, and then they'll shoot more lightning bolts at you. These guys don't deal contact damage, but it's still dangerous to walk into them because sometimes they'll throw flames again real fast after you make them shift around like that. these guys that throw these ice crystals, they only throw 1 on normal, so they throw 4 now, which is a little more annoying. But the technique is they go through everything, so you can, the big ones do, but the little ones don't. So you dodge around, so if he's going to throw it over here, you can just dodge like that and they'll all go to that. Or if you're over here, and so just got to dodge the big ones. Now my bubbles, one of the times are annoying. So this is a nice room. It always has 5 tokens. You also learn the layout of the rooms because there's not an infinite amount of rooms. There's rooms and they have set layouts. And so this one always has a juice box in the middle and 5 tokens. This one always has 2 up top and that's it. Oh yeah, something I didn't mention, I can't really show here. Whenever you enter a new room, you actually have about half a second where you won't take damage. So if there's like caltrops, little spikes on the floor, you can safely walk through those if they're pretty close to the entrance. And that's also why I guess there's a half-second delay or so before these guys start to attack when you enter a new room. Maybe closer to a full second. So the champion versions, they just throw 8, which really isn't that much worse than the 4. Once you get in this room, you just kind of want to go around and up and down and not get hit like that. Whenever they're traveling through things, they won't throw the ice crystals, but you also can't hurt them either when they're going through the any of the solid stuff you can't shoot through. Ooh, that was close. Oh, finally, a use item. I actually like this because it has such a quick cooldown and you can destroy things with it. It's actually, because so many of the items that you use have such a long cooldown, they're not even that useful. Yeah, see what I mean? I started with 9, already up to 22. Yeah, no. This is still a pretty useful level. So this will stack with my crowns class, and then so instead of me having a chance to get 3 champions per floor, because you always are guaranteed to get 1, except on leaderless floors, I have a 100% chance to see 2 champions per floor because it stacks with crowns, which gives a 50% chance to see a champion. So this way I'm guaranteed 2 items per floor. So, and I don't want them because I haven't got any move speed yet. Otherwise, I actually do take this level sometimes though, and I don't know what's in the shop. If I knew what was in the shop and it was really good items, I actually would consider this level still. But the item drop lottery is the way to go. Plus, it's early enough, it still will matter a lot. Like, if it was later floors, the item drop lottery wouldn't be that useful. Or it would be useless if it was the last floor. So you don't have to kill them, but you do get experience and chance for drops, so it's worthwhile to try to kill them because they disappear after 15 seconds in this treasure room. There's another use item. This is nice on the earlier floors. Well, it's still it still would be sort of useful, but I know what boss I'm fighting, so it's not going to be very useful on him or it, but otherwise I would probably pick this up before going to the boss and then pick this back up at the end, because the damage, this scale, my manuscript, the damage scales very badly, so it's not very useful later floors. While this damage scales okay, and being able to destroy items is nice, or I mean barriers and stuff. Oh yeah. So it looks like in my first video of this game, I'm going to get to show you why I like the ducking class so much. So now I got the nimble medallion and so the other item, I jumped kind of past that quickly. Makes it so, especially these floors are a lot nicer, and it's really useful on the later floors. Now there is an item that decreases your light radius, but it's also worth it to take it because it increases your movement speed and attack speed by 25%, which is the way I generally like to increase my movement speed. Like that 25%, that extra, that's plenty for the rest of the game if you get that item. But with this, it totally counteracts it. It actually still makes it brighter. And so there's 2 actually items that help with your light radius, or the other one doesn't increase your light radius, it makes enemies put out some light. But I like this better because certain projectiles don't put out light, and so this is a better item and it's cheaper. The other item's 12, that's only, the contraband candle is only 8. It's a much better bargain. So this boss, all you gotta do is this. Just stand right there, right here, just so you're basically not touching the very tip of his head in the middle. And just stand here until he'll change phases of attack, and then you gotta move a little bit. So now I just kind of go circles around him and his things will not hit you. So on normal, those time bubbles actually speed you up, so they make it quicker to kill them, but on hard, they slow you down. You can actually be in it, and he still won't hit you. See, I've not disappeared, but I'd be in it, but instead, so I'm not in it. So you have about a centimeter or so to work with. Plenty of room. So this next part is a little boring with the nimble medallion. I'm gonna just keep on taking damage intentionally till I'm about dead, because I got natural defense. I don't care that my bear broke, that gave me 100% resistance, because now I can make tons of money, and some dodges would be good. Wow. Yeah, I still need a little bit more dodge before it's really useful, but this is also unlucky considering I have a 1 in 3 chance basically. Thank you. I'm considering buying this to take it out of the item pool, because there's only 103 items I can find, and so there's not really that many items. So nah. If I had more dodge. So I'm going to take myself down to, I'll do one more hit. If I had an extra life, I would go down all the way to where I would have 12 life, but I don't want to risk it. Never, ever pick a burning floor. If you do, you're dumb. Now, occasionally, I think I've had twice where I was forced to, because sometimes you only have one option, or you might have two and they're the same options, don't take a burning floor. Like, even if it was a way harder boss, because there's no shop, no treasure room, none of the normal drops are there. And if you leave a room with drops, they set on fire, so you got to make sure you pick them up right away. Burning floor is the worst floor in the game. Don't take it. Don't do it. Just say no. Bad for you. Bad. And we got another underlit floor for some more experience. Plus, both of the floors are the same boss, which is this is the easiest boss to fight. If you don't know the little trick on Sindar's Timekeeper. So now we get to recover all our life back. Yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit more damage. Still got some papers. I generally, when I know where the bosses are, try to work my way towards the boss, because usually the shop's that way, and I like to know what's in the shop. So that's why I'm going to work my way towards the boss and break my rule of always turning left. Oh yeah, I should destroy the cupboard. Closet, little closet. Now this is the time when I wish I took but I didn't know, and if I took the juice boxes, give me 4 life per use level, because I also get 25 life, so I'd have 25 life plus all the juice boxes. I used more than the 180 I got. So, because this item eats your life and gives you some stats. Now I'm only going to use it. Let's see what I get the first try. I was going to use it once for... we'll use it twice. There we go. Yeah, crit and range. That's the best one. I'll take the attack speed and movement speed, though. That's useful since I haven't got any yet. Not going to use it anymore. I don't want to lower my life with what I got going for me. Yeah, let me explain this item a little more. I just thought. So, you have, whenever you use it, it eats 20 of your life, and you have a chance of it doing 3 different things. Either it gives you attack and movement speed, damage, and resistance. Which resistance, when it procs, you take half damage. As opposed to dodge, you take 0 damage. And then third, which is the best option in my opinion, is the crit and range. Now they're all useful, like it'd be, but the damage and the resistance one is the one I need really the least. The movement speed and attack speed was actually nice to get, but it all goes up by 15%. I think all of the stats, you get 15 damage, I get 15% crit, so I got 15% more crit, so now I'm up to 20%. So now I'll actually crit with a little bit frequency as opposed to almost never with 5% crit. And then the range is nice. It's not super far yet, but so now it's starting to become more useful though. And obviously that's not the way to the boss. But so yeah, so it's that item's the way you can get the most powerful with a lot of damage. I mean, it can give you the highest damage output. If you have, there's a level that gives you 150 life, and then the juice box level. Those two levels, if you get both those levels, and you found an admin's enigma, you can use it like 10 times or more if you want, even, and you're gonna be pretty powerful. Oh, yes. Now, I take 2 damage every time I pick up a token now, but I also get 2 tokens instead of 1 for every time I pick up one. So pretty much now, money is not going to be an issue. I do need some juice box recovery items, though. Ah, this room's annoying. Oh, speak of the devil, oh man. I'm only going to use it twice more though, because I want to keep the high life. Come on, more crit, more crit, more crit. Meh. I could take it lower, but because I got the good recovery items, I'm not going to. So I kind of went past that level quickly. You'll lose 10%. No, it doesn't mean you'll lose 10% of your max life. You just lose 10% of the amount of life you have. So I'm at 147, so I'd essentially lose 15 life. But it's not off the 250. I just go to 132 basically. So it's a very small deal. And with the natural defense item, it doesn't even matter. It's actually a good idea not to use my use item, because I'll destroy the things, and actually it makes it easier for these guys to hit me then. Up or left? I think it's going to be up. And I was wrong. See, always go left. You got an option, just always go left. See, so I saw that in the shop the floor before, and here it is. So like I said, you see in the shop, it can appear again, but if I didn't pick it up now, it wouldn't appear again, but there's no reason not to pick it up. It's not an item that's bad to have. I don't know why I destroyed that. And the shop's not over here. Oh. So it might look like these rooms are going to connect, but the rooms never connect like that. Like you'll see that if they won't. See? Oh, okay. So I'll go over each item. So this is one of the best non-boss items in the game because every room you get an automatic dodge. So, and then I have the nimble medallion, so basically I get 1 token per room now, so very good. No juice box boosting items though, so that's bad. We're gonna buy that because we got so much money now. I normally don't buy chalk unless I got a lot of money. So the merit slippers, which is very easy to accomplish. Basically, I'm going to get 15% more dodge. I probably won't get it till the next floor because I don't know if there's going to be 18 more guys to kill. So, but yeah. So now I'm going to be up 31%. I'm going to be up to 46% now. So, yeah. So now I'm going to be up to almost 50% dodge. Huge difference now. And this, so okay, actually with the nimble medallion, you know, it can be a little useful, but it's not in a guaranteed dodge. It's only 75% chance dodge, and it's only for about 1.5 to 2 seconds, and sometimes it doesn't seem to proc. I don't know why, but I'm gonna buy it to get it out of the item pool. There is a reason to save money because there is a level that gives you more damage, but I'm gonna get enough money anyways. It's not gonna really matter. See, I can dodge now, guaranteed. You know what? No, I'm gonna stay at 250 life. I was thinking of using the admin's Enigma one more time. Either way, I'm gonna be alright. My attack still kind of sucks, but partially it's because I don't have any rolling items yet. Need a little bit more crit, really, for it to really start making a difference. See, now my range is really starting to make a difference, the amount of range I got. So this room always has a token on the right and left up here, and then 2 down here. Oh, I've been forgetting. Luckily you can dodge after a room, but yeah, try to dodge every room. I only missed 1 room, but still. Yeah, like I thought, it wasn't going to be enough. And I'm going to do juice boxes because I get more damage. So there's always at least 2, and there'll be up to 4 juice boxes. So let's see. So it's going to be at least 3. 4. So that's 8 more damage. So you can easily beat the game with this amount of damage I got right now. If I just get up to 35% crit, I can beat the game without worrying about getting any more damage. You don't need to have massive damage. 120, 130 is enough with a decent amount of crit. So the small music notes don't hurt you, they just confuse you. The big groups of music notes, they hurt you. They can't reach you if you're all the way against the wall. So this boss is pretty easy. Just stay and then watch the hands. They change patterns twice. It already changed patterns once. It changes at about 75%, and then it'll change again once it's down to about 35%. Yeah, just stay out of the big music notes because they hit really hard. The hands do not, they hit pretty light. I can intentionally take damage because I want to dodge for money. Oh yeah, I forgot because it was lit up so well. It's on the underlit floor, so. Go to about 2 more hits, and I'll stop. I'm going to lose 10%. That way I know I can take 2 hits on the next floor without dying. Of course, I have the dodging, so not too worried. Now we're on Reagan. Reagan's where it really starts to get real. She's really hard on hard the first time. Yeah, hard on hard. She's pretty bad the first time you face her on hard. Especially, I don't have any rolling items right now, which is... Luckily, I do have... the use item I got, which I forget the name of the seconds. These guys they don't hit very hard, these champions, but they're annoying because they're a pain to dodge. Now I can destroy his things, but normally you want to go up and then go around. You want to go clockwise because he's spinning clockwise. That way you can spin along with his tables. But I can destroy them with the use item I got. And some resistance. Only 10%, so it's not. Again, you gotta get up 30-35%. Be much of use. And I forgot to dodge last room, I think. So these floors now, there's not going to be very much money. Unfortunate, like in this room, this is one of the better money rooms for this floor, but a lot of the floors, a lot of the rooms, once you get to Reagan's floors, don't have very much money. Until you get to the library floors, then they have a little bit more money there, but... Ah, good. I really need those. So now my juice boxes will heal for 25 instead of 20. Really, to feel comfortable, I really like to get them up to a 40, at least 35, but... I do not like the kite runner kites because the move speed can actually throw you off, so you're dodging and you get the 20% exactly when you don't want it, and it can make you get hit again. I also don't really like this level, like chalk drops are so rare. This hardly makes you find, like, I seriously will still only find like 2 pieces of chalk, even if I take this at the beginning of a game. But the 10%, 10 damage, not 10%, it'd be nice if it's 10% damage now, is helpful. So it's still a decent level to take. And I feel like on the floors where, if you do a gluttonous floor, I feel like it actually makes more juice drop, because you have an increased chance of drops then. Because the only juice drops, you don't find chalk or tokens on gluttonous floors. You only find juice boxes. So I don't know if I'm right about that, but I kind of feel like that's the way it works. But we can use the 10 damage, which we shall. And I think I forgot to dodge again. Yeah, don't be like me. Don't forget to dodge intentionally when you got the Nimble Medallion and the Edgewood Hall Pass. But also try not to take it too early, because you can always take damage intentionally after a room and still get the dodge. Like, I could go find a room with thorns, wherever one is, I think here, yeah. So I could intentionally go through that if I had dodged. I hate these guys. Any of the guys who shoot out those big balls of lightning, I do not like. They always appear in front of you, whatever way you're moving, unless you're close to a wall. So I'm moving to the right, he'll appear to the right, unless I got a little bit closer to the wall, then he won't. Oh, I should have waited till I blew up the ball. There we go. Yeah, I don't like, because those balls are really, this is one of the few times where movement speed is really useful. It's like, I know I can get it in between those, come on. But yeah, what you can do with this room is just let them shoot to the right, have them move, and then that way, like I said, the big chunks of ice pass through blocks, but then the little ones can't, so they'll pass through the block, then they'll hit this wall, and then none of them can get past that wall, so you're safe if you're standing, if you just let them throw and dodge them initially. Good, oh, good items. Couple good items. Or I guess one good item, but one item I really need. We're gonna wait. Waiting and stuff can seem pretty tedious. Oh, so this room, I don't have to kill these guys. It's a treasure room, but I'm going to kill them, and I'm probably going to take some damage, but I don't care. Ah, my attack's still pretty low, though. Yeah. Oh, good. So, I get 25% more movement speed, which I really didn't need anymore, but then I get 25% more attack speed, which is always good. So now I'm really fast. These guys, you can just do little movements if they're all in one direction to dodge them. There's a few rooms I'll show you how to, if I get that. It can seem like it's impossible to not get in their line of fire, but if you know where to stand and to do little movements, you can have them fire and then Oh, I got a chalk drop. Amazing. Alright, and I don't care about the chance to get the level where I get money for damage. I'm just going to buy everything. Plus, this is all kind of useful, so this is a really useful item. But it doesn't scale that well, but it does hit quite a few times when enemies get into it, so it still does a pretty good amount of damage even towards the end. But yeah, so these matchsticks, very good. This, not worthless, but not something I would ever buy unless I'm gushing with funds. This, I buy sometimes. They're random, they hit closely, but they do hit for 2.5 times your base damage, so it's basically a crit for normal damage, and if they crit, forget, then they hit for tons. So I still kind of like them. And then now I get 30% 30 life per juice box. This one has 3. Oh. Yeah, I'll wait. I'm gonna play it safe. I probably don't really need to play it safe and leave that juice box, but for you, generally, it's a good idea. Now on to Reagan. So generally, I'm gonna try to follow her movements and get her in the flames. That's generally the best. That's why I like rolling items on her a lot. And I actually hate the second phase the most, not the third phase. Oops, I got too close. Because it can be really hard to get close to her. So she's a good boss to use chalk on, because chalk's very limited. Unless you get a certain item. But the best thing with chalk is to try to get it into her like that when you feel she's going to stop. Now we're on to the third phase. So I try to hug the walls as much as possible because projectiles will disappear before their hitboxes will totally be gone. Now she starts throwing out those though. So the only form that hurts you when you run into it is her actual form, which is the one I'm shooting at. The blue one, this one, the kind of grayish one, the pink one. None of those hurt if you move into them. So you can safely move through all those. And then also if you're going to take damage, take it from the ice crystals that are flying by or her fire on the floor. Try not to run into her or get hit by the hurricane or the lightning bolts. Whatevs. Now that I got the 21% dodge without ducking, I will dodge much more because I'll have 46% now. I'm not going to go super low. I'll go to just below 100. So 3 more hits. Unless I resist some with my big whopping 10% chance to resist. well-stocked floor. Pretty nice. Get 2 shops. Hate that boss though. Burning. Oh, well, yeah, that's not a choice. Too small. Don't like too small floors because they're the opposite of vistas. So, underlit. Well-stocked. Yeah, of course, let's go with the well-stocked. We got all the money. We want some more crit. That's what we want above all else. Oh, actually, I wish I wasn't intentionally taking damage. This is one of the rooms that can seem really hard to dodge the enemies. So what you want to do in this room is be down here, and then it depends on which door you come in through, but then slowly move up like this. And what will happen is the guys down here, their shots will have to follow you going up like this. And then the guys up here, their shots will keep on following you up. But so you're not going really slow, but that's also why you start down here, and then you can move kind of fast. And they fire 5 shots before they stop. Oh, why am I taking damage? This boss is kind of annoying. I should be fine though too, though, but... Ah, good. So this makes it so my chalk is goes on a way bigger area. So and with my double damage, it's pretty useful. So this one, you just kind of run like that. Kill a couple of them and then wait, move around. God, I hate those guys. They disappear way too fast. Sometimes they'll stay long. And sometimes, like, see, there you stay longer, but I had to run away. Cool, 20% more resist. So now I'm up to 30%, so now it will happen a decent amount of time. By the way, the damage you take from the thorn clover, that doesn't count towards the damage at the end of a level, that says, and also it can't be resisted or stuff like that. It's just damage you take and it's there. Can't be dodged. So this is a hard mode only room. As well as I haven't seen, I think this is the first one I've seen this run. Usually I'll see a few more. This one's actually easy because I'm already where I'll start running into the gifted. So it's not bad at all. Just trying to... When you have rooms like this that don't have any enemies, unless there's one of the ghost guys walking around, one of the archivists, it doesn't count as a room you can do a dodge in with the Edgewood Hall Pass. So you don't get a free dodge unless the door is closed. So when you come in here and there's no enemies, you don't get a free dodge, so don't go rolling into the thing thinking you get a dodge in those rooms. Unless there's one of the ghosts. Did I mention I hate these guys? They're so annoying. Oh, plenty of juice. Oh, so I do get the level. Not a big deal. Now I'll be more selective on what I buy. Because now I will get 1 damage for every token I got. I'm at 55, so I get 55 more damage, but another level was 20 damage, which obviously with the amount of money I'm bringing in, there's no reason to take that level. So now I will be more selective on what I buy. Like, I won't buy any more juice boxes to get more damage because I'll lose more damage by buying the juice boxes. Oh, yes. Good stuff, though. 3 items I'm going to buy in there. Oh. Well, I'm gonna spend a lot of money this floor, I can tell you that, so. And I'm gonna buy this, but I'm pretty sure there's not gonna be 12 guys left, so I'm gonna wait. Nice, 4 juice boxes. That's pretty good for this set of floors. So the first item I'm going to buy, because I might get the level that decreases the amount of money I got to spend. I'm going to buy, right, I'm not even close to, I was going to say I leveled, so. This is, I would definitely take if it was earlier on. I still might take it, I think. This one's kind of useful. I got a on-use item that I actually use. But, well, whatever, we're going to go with this level. So this will make my juice boxes heal for 50% more. And that stacks with these, so I get 7.5 instead of 5 for every one of these droughts I have. I'm not going to buy these. 10% range isn't that big, even though I would like more range. So this item is very good, the Bunsen burner. It scales better with your damage. So I'm going to buy this, and then after I fight the boss, because I'm missing... Actually, you know what? Oh, I'm going to have to come back anyways for the juice box to see. I'll wait until I fight the boss. So generally I don't like fighting this boss if I don't have Sudsy's ice tray, I think it is. Because guys explode into chunks of ice that will basically you'll get a chain reaction. But I got the rolling flame item. And enough damage, it doesn't really matter. But this boss can be very hard. Luckily, there's a half second when the guys pop out of the eggs before they start doing damage, so you can roll into them and you don't take damage. I hate it when it only fires twice. Yeah, now my juice boxes suffer quite a bit. I feel it's slightly quicker if you go in and out of the room. I am not getting lucky with the dodge. Jeez. Oh, I almost forgot. So now for that, I have to not roll for 12 straight kills, which fortunately with the movement speed I got will be very easy. Yeah, no reason to do the sensitive floor. stop rolling. So now I'll get 150% more experience, because that does stack with the Prodigal Son's photo album, or is that, yeah, there we go. So those two things stack, so, and I almost rolled, but I didn't. Oh, I might roll just because these guys are annoying without rolling. I'll just take it. Take it like a man. Even though I'm a 9-year-old little girl. Gotta wait. Pick that up after I finish this room because all the stupid flames. I believe that's a 9. Oh, I didn't see where the ghost went. So he should be 12. Frothy's End, it's a pretty good item. It does about 75% damage of your whatever your damage is. But it doesn't have great range, so and it's kind of random, but it's still pretty good. It's actually really good earlier on, but later on it's one of those items that's less useful the later you go. Oh yeah, so I got 50% resist. So yeah, I always like to double check. Yep, 12. Resist at 50. Oh, another piece of chalk. Ah, very good range item. Especially with my speed, this will give me range pretty much as big as the rooms are, so, but I'm gonna wait until I level to buy that, and that'll probably be the only thing I buy. Even though I could stack a bunch of money, maybe I'll show you how to stack a bunch of money on the next 2 floors, but I won't do it too much because it's incredibly boring, so I'm not gonna do that for too much. Yeah, this has turned out to be a very good run for me as far as ease. It's the only thing I'm missing is crit, which is a big thing, granted, but I have enough of everything else to easily overcome it. Dang it, I forgot to dodge. Ah, very good. I actually don't mind taking this level. I used to think it was a crap level, but actually it is pretty useful. But this is also probably top 3 levels of the entire game, The Hitchhiker's Guide to Vending Machines. the random, I don't know why it's 42%. Why did they come to 42%? I'd love to know that. Anyways, it's top 3 levels in the game, probably. Oh, I didn't even go over the potato battery item I got, which is, see that little, somewhat hard to see circle of haze around me. Where are you at? Yeah, so the potato battery, it slows projectiles probably at about half speed when it gets into it. It is somewhat useful. It's nice on the last couple of bosses. It actually makes those annoying guys with the 2 rods that shoot out those big bolts that I said I hate. It makes them much less annoying. So I don't. It's a good item, but generally I don't buy it though because it's 15 tokens unless I got a lot of money. But it's also an item I'm happy to have. Haha, I thought I forgot. I didn't. Dang it. Wanted to get hit, so I didn't have to go back. See, little things though. I'm stacking up money. Just buy everything. This boss is pretty easy. Occasionally, though, he'll move. So he crashes down like that, and he doesn't move, and you can walk into his body, you don't get hurt. Occasionally, he'll start moving again, and he's not supposed to, while these slimes that pop up, they just heal for a little bit, honestly, except for when you're going for the achievement. They heal for so little. Each one heals for like 190, that's it. I hit for 190 with one of my shots. Oh, you can roll into the slimes too, and they don't hurt you. Just his bricks, his body when he's moving like he is now, and then the shrapnel from his bricks hurt you. Or I guess I should say it. I don't know how I didn't get hit there. So this item heals me for 2% every 5 enemies I kill, which is nice. I'll get healed for 5, and actually it's more like 2.5%, rounding up even. If I just had 1 more life, it actually would heal me for 6 life. And then this is like what I was saying, I have a ton more range now because my movement speed's so fast. So this is generally the best range, pure range item in the game. The other three that are just range, they don't give you squat. So it also makes you, when you roll, you shoot even further. So actually when you're rolling, you have, like now my shots will have like almost unlimited range. The only time it would matter is on the last boss where I wouldn't hit a wall because the area you're in is ginormous. And then the chorus goggles, these along with the nimble medallion on the last two floors, I can milk for tons of money if I want. So I'll show you. I'm not going to do it too much because it will get incredibly boring, but because there's things that confuse you on those floors. Not enemies, but these green tentacles. Yes. See what I mean about crit, though? I haven't got one item. The only way I got crit was from the admin's Enigma. It's like... And I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't get an item the rest of the run. Now, I might, I mean, but I had plenty of times where I don't. Man, where are the dodges? If I had an extra life, I would take my life all the way down to whatever, so those hit me for 16. So if I was at 17, I would take damage again and go all the way down to 1 or whatever. But if I could. But since I don't, and plus I have the Edgewood Hall Pass, I'm not going to risk it. And it's boring doing that, so... So now we're to the last two floors. Fortunately, I got the light item. Otherwise, these floors are pretty dark. Guys start hitting for really hard now though too, so you want to be, they start hitting for 40 and even a little bit more the next floor, so these guys with the trap stem roses, they can't hurt you. Oh, I guess if you think it's spawning you. I just got proven wrong. If they're already up, they won't hit you. So these guys, if you hug the top of walls, their shots, they can't shoot. They'll just stick in the wall, and you can walk into them. You don't hurt by walking into them. It's only when they actually shoot out a shot that you get hurt. So whenever practical against those guys, you want to hug the top of the walls. Oh, too bad it's these guys. But so this is the stuff I was talking about that confuses you. Now I can just keep on taking damage. I can keep on going in and out of these rooms and go like this. I might find a better room where there's actually... Oh, and then see what I was talking about where you don't take damage for the first second? See, I can roll through that if I go in really fast. So I get more damage. I don't know, it really doesn't even matter at this point, but I actually probably would take this level. Whatever, let's just take it. Wow, this is a rare room. Like all these other rooms I see all the time, I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen this room. Yeah, it's a pretty bad room if I wasn't strong. Waiting until their portals quit shooting out their shots. Oh yeah, so the only way to destroy these guys is like with this, my use item, or if you get the level that you can destroy objects, or there's an item that shoots out the cyclones, and those will destroy things. So here's a room where I could get a bunch of money. So see, it's resisting, I'm only taking 2. And even not resisting to take 4. Being a little careless there. So if you can, take damage from the pillars that shoot out the fire instead of the enemies, because those only hit for 16 on this floor, as opposed to the enemies, which will hit for 40 or around 40. I do not like the necessary lantern because it can. I often take more damage than it's kind of good on the bosses, but I don't like the darkness it gives. it ends up making me take more damage than I end up would be saving. So we are up to 65% resist now with the lovely wandering crab. So we have very good defenses now with 30% dodge without rolling, 55 with rolling, and the 65%. So I'm pretty sure it said better Cordy. I didn't even hardly look. Yeah, so her having extra range is nice. She's not too bad, but you kind of want to go around, and I got her flames going in the bad direction. So basically, don't take damage. Her chalk, her purple chalk hurts really bad, so don't go into that. Her fire on the ground doesn't hurt very bad, so either get hit by that or get hit by the paintings. Her shots don't hurt too bad. I think it'd be like 28, 29, 27, yeah, so. And she'll also heal. I might kill her before she even gets a chance. So I could have destroyed the paintings. I was just kind of trying to show the way. But yeah, normally if I had this item, I'd destroy the paintings. So I could get a ton of money now. Now with the juice boxes, I could actually make a lot of money from them by using the room with the confuse in it. But I'm not going to bore you to death. I'm just going to go to the next floor. But yeah, there's also a level that you get 20% interest. If you get that early on, along with the other items I have, the Nimble Medallion, the Dodge, all the Dodge items, the Edgewood Hall Pass, you can get hundreds, maybe even thousands if you get the right item. In fact, I'm certain you could get thousands early on if you really wanted to. Because of the 20% interest, you start getting into the hundreds, and then you get 20% interest. It's like, I've got 636, and I could have got more. But yeah, so I can milk this room if I wanted for probably 100 tokens. But it's really boring. I don't need it. But it's a good strategy. It's kind of one of the few ways now that you can, with items I have, you can break the game this way, basically, as much as you can break this game. Alright, so final floor, besides if you can consider the last boss a floor. I'm just gonna go wait, how close am I to the level? Because I really don't need to worry about a level. This is one of the hardest rooms in the game. He's trying to get both of their attacks. One thing, you don't want to be too close to these guys because they will teleport into you occasionally when they, or shift, whatever you want to call it, when they do their shift. See, see, yeah, exactly what I said. Yeah, I'm trying to go straight to the boss, and I keep on picking the wrong way. I think, though, I want to make sure I find the shop, but usually the shop is next to the boss. Occasionally, though, you won't get a shop. Pretty sure it's a bug. It seems to happen the most. I never have it happen before the floors after Reagan, but it seems to happen either on the final boss, the final floor, this floor, or the floor before. So this is the item I was talking about, that the Trick or Sweet bag, that when I buy items I get chalk, and you'll either get 1 chalk or 5 chalk, except juice boxes or chalk. Those won't give you more chalk, but these droughts and all the other items you can buy, they'll give either 1 chalk or 5 chalk. Usually, probably 75% of the chance is 1 chalk. But still, if you get this early on, you'll get a ton of chalk. It's really the only way to have enough chalk to actually use throughout the game. Otherwise, it's like, in fact, even then, it's like, there's only a couple rare circumstances I will use chalk not on a boss, and then generally I save all my chalk for these last couple of floors. Like, I'll use 1 or 2, and then, but I'll have plenty of runs where I only get like 3 pieces of chalk for the entire game extra. So it's like, chalk a lot of times is a worth, or not useless. So it's useful, but you just don't get enough. So this is the best room type to have, where you get the caltrops. You can keep on rolling into these and then just go around in a circle. But I just want to find the shop. This is a pretty annoying room. They'll also get their things, whatever you want to call them, portals, that shoot out the shots. Like that, see, that can't shoot either if you hug the wall like this. But sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll still be able to get them off. So it's not a guaranteed way, like standing right up against the top of the wall is. This is pretty good on the administrators, which is the boss I'm about to fight, because it will destroy the portals that I have to destroy. I'll explain that in a second. Does this... I don't know if this works. I'm going to see if this works when I go to the boss's floor. Oh, I may as well buy this to get the chalk. Why not? Oh, I should just level. I'm about to level. This is a very good level. Call the Wild Furniture. I don't need the base move speed anyways. I would take this level 100% of the time, Call the Wild Furniture, so we're going to take it. Makes me kill these bosses much quicker. And I get more attack speed too, so full killing power. So this guy has 2 phases where he's running around. That's the only time you can damage him. And then when he takes out these portals, and you know it's the right portal to destroy by red papers will be coming out of it. And you have a ton of crap to dodge. It's really hard to fight this boss without taking any damage. But if you shoot a wrong portal with your basic attack, an enemy will come out. However, you can attack it any other way. So with my use item or with my rolling attacks or any of that stuff, they will not spawn an enemy. However, my range is so good now that but see, when I'm resisting or dodging, they destroy the portals. My chalk does so much damage, I was like, whatever. I'm not even going to worry about that juice box. I'm going to annihilate the last boss. I'll go a little slow, though, so I can kind of show them. I have enough healing power, don't matter. But so, the first part, I'm going to slow down a bit so I don't kill him too fast. He'll shoot red papers, and then he'll do these spinning white papers around as well. Now, the best thing is when you got good range is you can stay outside of that and just keep on shooting him. However, you want to also, hopefully, you can have enough damage that he doesn't get through his first teleport before he goes to the next phase. But I'm going to let him go to it, because you'll see why. He'll put papers, and sometimes he'll come right in you. You can't even dodge him. Now he's about to go to his last phase when he gets to 75% of his life. Maybe more like 70%. And he appears either on the left or the right. And it's whatever direction you moved in last of left or right. So I just keep on going down. And now he's gonna, I don't want to go to the blackness. I'm gonna let him, of course I ran into him anyways. Let him do his next phase shift. Now when he gets to half-life, he's gonna go crazy. And it's impossible for too long to dodge because he's spewing out the enemies, so you can't, it's hard to get shots in unless you have the ghostly marble, which goes through enemies. And so, and then these papers can really go really far away, so it can start getting really hard to dodge his attacks. So really, this is why you want killing speed too, because just right now, see, he'll teleport you into his crap, like there's nothing I can do. I'm gonna get hit. So, but I have enough killing power, so with the chalk, he's just gonna die instantly. So that's my first complete run video anyways, so that's win number 32. Just got 68 more to go. Yeah, 68 more to go. All right. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'm gonna post some more videos of this. I won't be nearly as much talking next time. I was trying to get kind of a little walkthrough-ish for this one, but next one's gonna be just more a straight playthrough, and I'll talk a little bit. But yeah, so thanks for watching. All right, have fun.